These are my two sons. This is John, my oldest, and this one here is Christopher, my youngest. They both live up in Minnesota. They both have problems with their health. But this boy here, around this age here, had his first aneurysm burst in his head. It almost killed him. He had his second burst in his head around the time this picture was taken. He was 17. He's 30 years old now. After his second aneurysm, they told me that he would have another aneurysm, had a high chance of another aneurysm coming in 5 years. So if you go from 17 and count 5 years, that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. He should have been dead because they said the third one bursting would kill him. He's missing a large portion of this side of his brain because of these aneurysms. He's had 3 surgeries. He has to regularly go to the hospital in Mankato and in Minneapolis. There's people up there protesting because they want a haircut. A haircut. And they want the state open. You open the state, you're going to kill him. You're going to raise his chance of having the COVID-19. And you're going to kill him. So I want to send out a message to every nurse out there, every doctor out there, every person out there. Stand in silence at these protests with your masks on. And let them people know this is not okay. You're gonna kill him. He has limited time left as is. And he has a 2-year-old son. And you're going to kill him. He catches... Remember my face. Because if you get what you want, and the virus starts killing more people again, I want you to remember this face. The face of a mother in anguish that you didn't care about because you wanted a haircut or a massage or to take your boat out on the water. Remember this face of a mother in pain. And then tell all your nurses out there, and you tell all your doctors out there, who's putting their lives on that line for people like my son, who has lived 7 years longer than what the doctors said he should, who has increased seizures right now, which means, well, we all know what that means, don't we? So he may have a year or 2 left, and you want to take that away from him. Remember his face. His hair is longer, but this is what he looks like. This is my son, and you're wanting to kill him. Because that's what you're doing. My son, you want to put 6 feet under. Are you proud of yourself? Are you happy with that flying your flags out there at the protests, letting it flip in everybody's face so that it gets contaminated and then flips in another person's face? Are you so proud of standing shoulder to shoulder with everybody else to spread this virus that spreads before anybody shows any symptoms? Are you proud of that? Are you prouder of the murders you are going to commit than you are of the nurses who put their life in danger for you if you get this virus. You're selfish, you're greedy, you're inconsiderate, and if anybody on this planet Earth deserved the coronavirus coming to them, I hope nobody gets it anymore. But if anybody deserved it, it's those of you who think that your haircut is more important than my son's life. That's my son. You're killing him. And you don't care. Because you're selfish, you're greedy, you're inconsiderate. You're killing people's grandmothers. You're killing people's children. You're killing people's mothers and fathers. You're doing it. You are. Every governor who wants to open their state too soon. Every governor who is not pushing widespread testing. Every governor who is not making sure that every nurse and doctor has the PPE they need. And the government of the United States, including the president, who is not doing everything they can to protect the citizens, especially the most vulnerable. You're all murderers, and I'm going to call you out on it. You're the one murdering my son. Now think, if it was your son. Let's pray to God your son never has a medical condition that'll end up him dying sooner if he catches this virus. Until we start doing widespread testing, before we start letting people out there, you risk my son's life. Until these doctors and nurses have the PPE they need, you risk my son's life. Until the cases of coronavirus starts going down, and we start quarantining when needed, and quarantining people who are coming into this country for 2 weeks and testing them before they're let loose on the public, you risk my son's life. You want to protest for something? Protest for widespread testing. Because that's what we need. You want this country open? Protest for widespread testing. Because that's what we need. Protest for PPE. Because that's what we need. We don't need to open our states without having the proper measures in place. We need the proper measures to make sure our citizens are safe before we open up anything. And I'll tell you, I'm one of the first people out there that would say that if it meant that every person on, including you heartless protesters, if it meant that every one of your lives would be saved and you would never see coronavirus again, if I had to die to make that happen, I would be happy to. You know why? Because at least when I died, I'd know you'd be safe. Can you say that about yourself out there holding your big old flags, flapping them in people's faces? Can you say that when you're out there standing arm in arm saying, open up our state because we want a haircut? Fuck your haircut.